We're rope dropping Peter Pan today to test our new early entry strategy. Plus, more Fantasyland, when to ride, or maybe not ride, Runaway Railway and Rise the Resistance. Will any of it work? Let's find out. $7:47 rope dropping here at the hub. We're going to rope drop Peter Pan. Early entry is at DCA today, which gives us an opportunity, a slightly better opportunity to rope drop Peter Pan. Normally, you are competing against a heck of a lot of guests who are doing the same thing that we're trying to do, get Peter Pan done as soon as possible. That early entry crowd was one of the reasons why I had always advised against trying to rope drop Peter Pan, because as soon as you get there, you're already up against, I don't know, 100 people in the queue. So today we're competing only against those that are in rope drop with us, which is this crowd. Not a whole lot right here. As we see, this is the rope drop between the partner statue and Tomorrowland side. Things are starting to fill up back there. It's, like I said, it's about 7:48 in the morning. We didn't get into the park until about 7:40. They were a little late in getting the rope dropped. But before we get into our rope drop this morning, I wanted to notice the CMs on Main Street cheering, greeting everybody, all the rope droppers. That is not something that you see very often. I've done plenty of rope drops here where there have been no CMs whatsoever, but today there were CMs. And also note that they aren't the frontline CMs. These were not CMs that are working on Main Street. These are not cast members, you know, in the shops, in attractions. These were leads. These were plainclothes CMs. That's an initiative, in my opinion. This is one of those things that I talked about, or it could be, where they're trying to adjust, change the culture, the atmosphere that guests are encountering here at Disneyland. Having happy, cheerful CMs greeting us on Main Street. I loved it. I think it's great, and I think that guests think it's great, other guests too. So I'm happy to see that. I'm going to start paying attention. Like I mentioned, that's something we'll be looking for throughout the park. Small things like that. Hopefully, that's a sign of more to come. Now, as for Peter Pan, the temptation is for some to rope drop here at the partner statue, to cut through the middle. It's because it's the straight line. It's the straightest line into the castle. However, I don't recommend that because there's already pinch points. They already, you know, the guests have to wait and filter. You can only maybe put 2 wide through there. All of us can go at once right here at Fantasyland. And matter of fact, some of these guests are even going to go right. They're going to go to Toontown maybe to rope drop Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which I will advise don't do. I would not rope drop Runaway Railway. You can do it in the morning, do it early. Matter of fact, we may still, but do it at like 9 a.m. Kind of the same strategy that we applied for Rise of the Resistance. You don't save a lot of time going now. Where you save time is on those attractions like Peter Pan, Space Mountain, Indiana Jones, not really. So our goal here is to rush Fantasyland, go around the hub a little bit and into the castle, and we should be able to pass, hey, how are you? We should be able to pass those guys and everybody else that's we're actually kind of already ahead of them because they have to queue up back there in terms of space. Our competition, the front of the queue right there is, you know, the pink shirt and the yellow rain jacket there, right? That's that's the front of that partner statue Peter Pan queue.
Welcome to Disneyland. All of us here at the happiest place on earth are delighted to have you as our guest today. In just a moment, we invite you to get your ears on and begin your adventure as you explore Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom. For your safety, we ask that you please walk to your next destination, and we hope that today you'll make memories that will last a lifetime.
definitely more effective going on the Tomorrowland side of the hub. Now it looks bad because they're going to queue us. Oh, good morning. It looks bad because they're going to queue us right here. We're going to get into a queue right now, but there's nobody in the queue. Hi, good morning. Normally on an early entry morning, this queue wouldn't be full per se, but there would be, 50, 100 guests in there already. So I think we did great, actually. We're looking at maybe 30 or 40 guests ahead of us.
Mom! Down there. Your pants, Peter Pan. You stay right here.
Morning. I have to say, one of the things that I do love about rope dropping Peter Pan is that it's so quick to get into the queue. It takes forever to get to Rise to Resistance. It takes forever to get to Space Mountain. Like, we're already in the queue. We're going to be in our vehicle in just a couple of minutes probably. So you've got, you get to use a large I don't even know what I'm going to do next. But really the whole point of this was Peter Pan, but we're already cooking. They do make you navigate the entire queue, though, don't they? Which I guess they have to, because it's going to fill up fast. Wait till you see what this looks like when we come out of this attraction in about 8 minutes. You'll notice that it's already too late. To get in this queue. It's going to already have reached near its max queue length. Reached the back of the queue at 8:05, and I would expect maybe just a few more minutes to get through what's left of this, which is just, this last stretch here. A couple minutes there, a couple minutes on the right, and we'll be out of here. Possibly by 8:10, 8:10, and that is going to be our code right here.
There it is, Wendy. Second start on the right, straight on to Morrison.
And as suspected, we're out of there at about 8:15 after getting out of our vehicle. And this is what we have meeting us at Peter Pan. It is too late, really. It's too late now. If you're trying to get in this queue, you haven't really won much. We saved all of that pretty much, so about 30 minutes, I'm guessing. This is not a full queue. It's not a 45-minute queue, but it's getting darn close. They're using all of this out here, which is, it's sometimes you don't even see that in the afternoon. Everybody comes to Peter Pan in the morning hoping to get a break, but you really, really, really need to get right up in front in order to make that happen. In some ways, rope dropping even isn't enough, because if you're late to rope drop, you're still going to hit a good-sized queue. You're still going to take 20, 25 minutes. We were fairly close to the front. We got a nice head start. We only had about 30 guests in front of us, maybe 40. But if I had arrived at, 7:55 or right at 8 o'clock, it's probably also too late. It is only 8:50 right now. As for what to do with the rest of our morning, this one is for the families out there. Snow White. I don't expect to meet a lot of resistance, but there actually is more than I was expecting anyway. The queue is kind of full-ish. This is actually a pretty full queue for, it's 8:21 in the morning. We got into this queue at 8:21. The only part that we're saving really is the stuff out here, but otherwise it's a fullish queue. I'm expecting this to take probably 15 minutes, which is long, relatively speaking, considering Snow White isn't generally more than 25, so you're not saving a lot of time here. Just about to our ride vehicle at 8:31, 10 minutes in the Snow White queue. I mean, why not, right? Mr. Toes it is. We're getting into this queue at 8:42.
Welcome to Toad Hall.
Kind of shocked. This has been going pretty slow. 8:54 to our venue. That's 13 minutes in the Toads queue. 8:54.
And those inside. And do
So that's 4 dark rides in Fantasyland. Mr. Toads, Peter Pan, Snow White, and Pinocchio, all done by 9 a.m. That's pretty good, I guess. I mean, we at least did well on Peter Pan. We knocked that out in, what was it, 10 minutes, I think it was? Maybe 12 minutes after rope drop. But the rest, I don't know. I feel like it was kind of an expense, considering when you compare it to what we can do otherwise. Space Mountain, Big Thunder, and Matterhorn, we could do those 3 attractions in an hour also. So we really picked up just the one attraction, but they're attractions that are cheap that you could do anytime throughout the day at relatively the same cost time-wise. You can hit Snow White most of the day in 10 or 15 minutes. Pinocchio is usually 10 or 15 minutes. Toads is usually 10 or 15 minutes. That was not a win for Toads, by the way. But as I mentioned when we got onto Pinocchio, this one is for those families that have, kids that want to do a rope drop for the family, for the whole family, for the kids. So, but if you just want to knock out Peter Pan, definitely try that out on that Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, or I should say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and then from there you can pick up the other rope drop schedule. That is, go from Peter Pan to the Matterhorn, which is right next door. Then take that to Big Thunder, and then from there go to either, Rise of the Resistance, if that's your cup of tea, or your cup of blue milk, as it were, or Indiana Jones. I was going to take a look at Casey Jr., but they're still running one train. That's a full queue. We are now at a midday queue there, nearly, for Casey Jones, considering it's just one train. We are also unable to take a ride on Alice in Wonderland. It rained this morning, so they have not yet opened this attraction. But if it's a priority for you, you might want to consider doing that right after Peter Pan, because that's a queue that builds very quickly. Do that after Peter Pan if you want. It's a high priority for you, even though it's around the corner, not exactly across the street like Snow White was. So with that, we're going to head to Toontown next. I have advised or tested in previous rope drop episodes, hitting Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Don't do that right at rope drop, but maybe wait till about 9 a.m., which is about now. It's 9:10 a.m. as we approach Toontown now. I suggest that because not a lot of people go to Toontown right away in the morning. They're doing other things like we've been doing, and it's kind of an afterthought. So you don't save a lot of time for Runaway Railway. But that test was prior to Runaway Railway getting on Lightning Lane. So I'm wondering if that's going to affect our experience today. 9:10 a.m. Let's see what happens. By the way, I noted that there's a nice steady stream of guests coming into Toontown right now, even as we speak. A whole bunch of folks flowing directly in the same direction that I'm going. So as we approach the entrance here at, what is it now, 9:12, 9:13, posted at 10 minutes. I have a feeling that number is about to grow because of the stream of guests that I'm seeing. People are doing pretty much the same thing that we're doing right now. They've been in other parts of the park, Matterhorn, Space Mountain, Big Thunder, that kind of thing, maybe Rise, who knows. And they want to, that's Runaway Railway is often the second or third choice. So it's been 10 minutes up until now. Will it stay that way? I'm also seeing some Lightning Lane right there. Well, this certainly won't be more than 10 minutes. So that is 9:20 into the screening room.
Excuse me, you lady. Who, me? What do you think? It's going to take more than Donald duct tape to fix that. We might actually have to replace the screen.
So that's 9:27 to our vehicle. It was 9 minutes to the screening room. 13 minutes or 14 minutes total to the vehicle. Leaving Runaway Railway now at 9:37. One thing that I was curious about, I feel like we may have just beaten the rush, or a rush of some kind. And for sure, I was going to go in and check for the back of the queue, but I don't even have to go in. There's the back of the queue right there. So it's already reached the door. Where the back of our queue was the concession stand at the movie theater. Back, we stopped moving when we reached the concession stand, popcorn and all that. The back of the queue now is right where I'm standing. That's the goal when you're doing rope drop stuff like this, and we've seen that happen in other reps that we've done, is that ideally you time it so that you're just in time, like we were there. I had thought about doing Roger Rabbit first when I arrived. For a second there I was going to go jump in that queue, and I thought, you know what, that 10 minutes, that's going to start pulling people in, and we're going to miss our opportunity to catch a quick Runaway Railway ride, and that turned out to be the case. We just missed it. However, while we were in Runaway Railway, Roger Rabbit went down. It's closed. It was a 25-minute standby according to the posted wait time. I wanted to verify that, but I feel like it probably would have been in that neighborhood, but now it's, well, who knows what. That's actually a sign. That's a sign that, oh my God, look at that cloud right there. Wow, that is rather ominous. That's gonna dump some rain. I think it was supposed to start raining here about 10 a.m., which is where we're at nearly. It is 9:39 now. We're gonna take this opportunity, hopefully, for Chippendale's Gadget Go Coaster. Or not, because this attraction is also in a status of being closed. Wow, there's some cast members in there trying to figure out what's up. I'm not sure how to wrap this show now. That was took the wind out of my sails. But okay, here's what we're gonna do. It's 9:42. I'm gonna go do a drive-by at Rise of the Resistance and see how that looks. Hi, good morning. We got lucky hitting that at 9 a.m. in our last effort because there was a breakdown and we got there right as the attraction was reopening-ish. I think we waited like 10 or 15 minutes. Let's go see what the real wait right now at 9:45 is for Rise of the Resistance. And after a brisk 7-minute walk from Fantasyland to Galaxy's Edge, we have arrived at Raider Springs Racers. I don't know if I'm gonna do this now. This could get bad. That says 70 minutes. Hi guys, morning. Posted wait time says 70 minutes. I was hoping for better, but since this is the last attraction for this video, I figured, you know, we got nothing else planned. We might as well just give it a shot and see what happens. What happens at Rise of the Resistance when you arrive at 10 a.m.? I'll tell you this. During my original research on, you know, doing the 30 rides, my theory was that 10 a.m. was a awful time to arrive at Rise of the Resistance. One of the worst times you could do it. The crowd starts to accumulate and get bigger and bigger as the morning draws on, obviously. This feels consistent with that initial theory. Well, moving pretty briskly so far. We're into section 2, about to enter section 1 in 9 minutes. It's 9:59. We haven't really stopped moving much. I feel pretty good about us beating 70 minutes. By the way, have you noticed? I feel like in the morning, you could hear the acoustic sounds of the creatures and the sounds of the forest better in here. I was just chilling on that for a while we're sitting in the queue. Hi guys. I don't remember hearing it that clearly in the past. That's 9:13 into the caves. 13 minutes total so far, which I feel like is pretty good, considering we were at 3 full sections. We were at the back of section 3. Actually, we're about ready to poke into section 4 there a bit. So getting those 3 sections done in 13 minutes is a win.
BB-8, is everyone assembled?
Detention block breach. Prisoners must see on land, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run. Destroy ahead of you. Great job, recruits. Thanks to your heroism.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we jinxed ourselves. All that positivity that we were talking about when we got to the caves, that moving right along, and then everything just came to a complete stop. And I noticed just before we got into the interior queue, I checked something I always do. I checked to see what was going on in the Lightning Lane, and it was full, completely full. It took us, like we showed in the video, an hour to get to the Ray Room. No, 70 minutes to get to the Ray Room. Also, watch this. This is the pre-room before they start loading guests into the Ray Room. 4 of us, 4 people from standby got into that queue, and then the rest of the room was filled with Lightning Lane. You could see here just a stream of Lightning Lane guests coming in. None of them, there was no more, besides the first 4 of us that we got in, nobody else from standby got into that queue. So that was clearly what was happening is, Lightning Lane just devastating the standby queue. And things have not gotten much better. It is now 11:21 and we're out here into section 4. Bad news. Posted wait time said 80 minutes, and there are still Lightning Lane folks coming. Obviously there will be throughout the day, but it's not as bad as it was earlier when we were, going by the waterfall there. We just saw a whole bunch of guests just standing there. It looks like they've cleared that. So that was definitely impacting our standby wait. So as far as rise goes, I don't like 8 a.m. I like 9 a.m., but I don't like 10 a.m. That just reinforced my idea. At 10 a.m., the park starts to get more full. People are showing up. Plus, people start cashing in their Lightning Lane. They're not cashing them in typically at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Hi, guys. All right. So that's a nice, it's a good spot right there at 9 a.m. You're not wasting the whole rope drop morning, and you're still getting a good wait time, typically. But 10 a.m., man, did not enjoy that. Meanwhile, in New Orleans Square, there's the back of the Pirates of the Caribbean queue. No discounts at Pirates today. Ay, ay, ay. There's the back right there. And it's going to go all the way down to the front and then come all the way back. Do a switchback. It's back there. It's everywhere. That's a long queue for Pirates. My goodness. You guys, seriously, that says 60 minutes. 60. When's the last time you saw Pirates at 60 minutes? I can't think of an ever. I can't ever think of Pirates being at 60 minutes. So my earlier observations that maybe it wasn't being too damaging Lightning Lane to the Pirates queue, that Pirates was able to handle that. It's not handling it. And to bookend this show, here is the current state of the Peter Pan queue. I don't even want to guess what that is. Actually, that's at least 45. It could be actually beyond that. And that's basically our win today. The goal was to rope drop Peter Pan and win because of the early entry scenario where the early entry is happening over at DCA, frees up a little bit more opportunity here at Peter Pan. That worked. We got Peter Pan done in 10 minutes. I don't recommend doing the same thing that we did today, though. As far as the rest of Fantasyland, the other dark rides, etc. Even if you have a family, I would say don't do that, because the attractions that we did, as I mentioned before, could easily be done, in the middle of the day at roughly the same price. But if you want to keep your family going on that rope drop morning after Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland is a good idea. Storybook Land, that might be an option because that queue usually takes a while. You could also go back to Small World, not a bad idea. Or you could go ahead and make the trip back to Toontown for Roger Rabbit gadgets and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I would recommend doing all of those while you're there. As for this day, my goodness, the park has really gotten busy since we started our morning here. We got off to a really nice brisk start, but things have really picked up in the park. This is going to be a busy day as we record this at 11:42 in the morning. It's packed. And thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. If you did, if you like our show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbaked. You can also follow us on Instagram at _FreshBake, on Twitter at FreshBakeDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakeDisney. Otherwise, until next time, thanks for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Bake.